Okay, you can begin.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. My name is Mahdi Ramsurup, and alongside my partner Anwar Alchan, who is not here due to some circumstances, we will be presenting on creating vision and strategic directions. So I will now start out the presentation with a video, which is Anuradha's part as she recorded it and sent it to me. So I will now be relaying the video to you guys.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, class. I am Anuradha Lachan, and I, alongside Mahdi Ramsru, will be presenting on Chapter 13, Creating Vision and Strategic Direction. Throughout this presentation, we are going to discuss creating vision and strategic direction and the various concepts that are intertwined within it, such as what is vision, what are the underlying themes successful vision share, how vision functions on various levels, clarifying the differences between the organization's mission and its vision, the process of developing a leader's vision and strategy, as well as the leader's role in realizing the goal and the effect this leadership has on the organization. What is strategic leadership? Strategic leadership means the ability to anticipate and envision the future, maintain flexibility, think strategically, and work with others to initiate changes that will create a competitive advantage for the organization in the future. A leader can become easily overwhelmed by the overall complexity of the environment and the uncertainty of what the future may hold. Therefore, they would majorly focus on internalized organizational issues rather than strategic activities. However, some of the best strategic leaders tend to challenge conventional wisdom without receiving a ton of backlash, as they see both the big and small picture all at once, and they attempt to adjust to the market changes and seize the new opportunities as they present themselves. Furthermore, they make difficult decisions and try to strike a balance between the analytical perspective and the human element of strategic development while speaking up and engaging with their employees. The domain of strategic leadership. Strategic leadership is responsible for the relationship of the external environment to choices about vision, mission, strategy, and implementation. The vision reflects the environment and works hand in hand with the company's mission, its core values, purpose, and reason for existence. The strategy provides direction for translating the vision into action and is the basis for the development of specific mechanisms to help the organization achieve its goals. Strategies are intentions, whereas implementation is through the basic organization architecture, which is the structure and incentives that makes things happen. Furthermore, having a compelling vision is the most important feature any organization can have. Properly articulating and communicating the organization's vision can help energize and motivate employees so that everyone is focused on the same path, as well as the internal and external goals. Leadership vision. First and foremost, what is vision and what is vision statements? For some organizations, a vision is an attractive, ideal future that is credible but not yet readily attainable. A leader may focus on a leader may focus and guide his or her resources and efforts towards the vision. Oftentimes, an organization's vision is represented through short, compelling slogan-like statements that are easily communicated and understood. As we can see in the table, as the example here, Motorola's slogan, well, their vision is to become the premier company in the world. We have a short, simple one by the New York City Transit, which is just no graffiti. Another short one by BP, which is Beyond Petroleum. So a vision statement is not always lengthy. It is just short, straight to the point, and showing what the company hopes to achieve or what their goal is for the future. Furthermore, vision serves as an internal force that motivates a leader to take action. A leader is given a goal by it. Despite the numerous challenges and barriers, a leader advances when their vision remains constant. A common objective and shared vision form a link that binds the individuals into a team. The stated purpose and vision statements of an organization are not the only source of leadership vision. No? It is also shown by in their behaviors, in their attitudes, the values of the organizational leader and those that they are in charge of. What is the purpose of having a vision? A vision functions in a variety of significant ways. A successful vision acts as a bridge between the present and the future. It, in, it inspires and motivates workers towards the future, gives purpose to people's work, and establishes an organizational-wide standards for quality and integrity. Therefore, a successful vision statement should have the following characteristics. It should be rational, should be reasonable and innovative, credible and clear. It should be motivating and stimulating, as well as challenging. It should be reflective of the organization's beliefs, values, and cultures, and it must be something solid, it must be concrete. Right? So visions have many purposes. So firstly, a vision links the present to the future. So a vision ties together the current events and the organization aspirations. Even though a vision is always focused on the future, it would always start within present time. Secondly, a vision energizes people's and gathers commitment. For the sole purpose of boosting profits and growing shareholders' wealth, people are typically not prepared to make the emotional commitments. Sometimes people are more eager to contribute to something they genuinely believe is good, something that improves their communities or makes the lives of others better. So the vision must go beyond a bottom line for them. Furthermore, vision gives meaning to work. People are, are people are drawn to businesses that provides them the opportunity to accomplish something worthwhile. Today, like we see in a lot of jobs, interviews and stuff, most candidates would frequently inquire about the company's visions during the interview process because they would like to know what the corporation aspires to be and whether or not they would fit in with that corporation. Additionally, a vision establishes the standards of excellence and integrity. By presenting individuals with a task that demands their best efforts, a compelling vision liberates from the ordinary. Visions also offer a yardstick by which workers may assess the value of their contributions to the company. So moving on, so common themes within a vision. Within vision. So there are 5 common themes to powerful and effective visions, right? They have broad, widely shared appeal. They help the organization deal with change. They encourage faith and hope for the future. They reflect, they reflect high ideals, and they define both the organization's destination and the basic rules to get there. So firstly, vision has a broad appeal. So top executives who work alone could have lofty ideas that other staff members find absurd, or they might forget that everyone in the company must share the vision and be committed to making it a reality. So what this means is that sometimes the CEO, whoever is in charge of the department, the supervisor, would select a goal or a vision for their department or the organization as a whole, but they do not take into account that the people working under them do not have the same values or behavior that they do, or they do not think the same way that they do. So a vision must be something that everybody can work on together and come together and commit to. Secondly, a vision deals with change. When workers are guided by a clear vision, daily choices and activities taken throughout the whole company adapt to current issues and difficulties in a way that would advance the organization rather than maintain the status quo. So having a clear vision and having all employees on the same page would leave little to no room for error. Therefore, they would have smooth sailings throughout the entire process on day-to-day operations. Furthermore, a vision encourages faith and hope. People who have a positive outlook on the future are more likely to be successful and to feel like they can change the future for the better via their own dedication and deeds. So having a vision that makes people feel like they are generating um, good things towards their community would help them complete their tasks in a timely manner, right? So vision reflects high ideals. So good visions are idealistic. Visions that portray an uplifting future have the power to inspire and energize people. And lastly, vision defines the destination and the journey. A good future vision includes precise goals that the company wishes to accomplish. It comprises the guiding principles that will aid the company in achieving its goals. Vision and its levels. The vision of divisions, departments, and people are equally significant and potent. When everyone is on board with a vision, the company starts to self-adapt. Despite the fact that each person takes unique action, everyone is moving in the same direction. Departments and people are equally significant and important. This can be described as self-reference. So, self-reference signifies that each component of a system will be used when the components are imprinted with an understanding of the whole, and the system's overall goals are achieved. Thus, what this really means is that for the benefit of both the organization and the individuals, the vision directs and controls them both. Right? Leaders inspire people to communicate their goals for the future while also sharing their own personal views in order to create a shared vision. For this, they need to be open, have excellent listening skills, and have the guts to empathize with others. The principal duty of a leader is to understand the aspirations that motivates their staff and to identify the links that connect individual goals with the shared vision for the company. I will now be passing on to Mahadev to present the rest of the presentation.
Right, so now I'll be presenting on the remainder of the presentation now. You all seeing the screen?
We're still seeing the end screen of the video.
The video.
Yeah, you might need to minimize that.
Okay.
Escape from your full screen.
Yeah, trying to. See, that's the problem I have with this laptop.
The new layout.
Yeah.
See that X to the upper right hand corner there. Is that going to be what you need to use?
Yeah.
So I was talking about your PC running into problems with processing space.
Yeah.
You should talk to your technician about increasing the amount of RAM you have.
Well, Monday I'm going out to actually see if I can get this thing fixed up once and for all because this is really frustrating.
Yeah, this is especially, but if the amount of space that Microsoft 11 seems to be taking, it looks problematic.
Yes.
Is it still trying to close that program?
Yep. I'm trying to switch across to the PowerPoint now to do out my part now.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Um, did you try control and alt delete? See if you can end that task.
Yeah, I tried it, but nothing.
Okay. We'll have to wait.
Yeah.
Do you use your PC for gaming or anything?
Nope.
So is somebody else sharing your PC?
Nope. Just me and my sister just do work on laptop.
That's what I mean. If somebody else is sharing on the PC, she has her own profile.
Well, there's one profile we just use.
And where do you store all your working files? On the PC.
Yeah.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. Your C drive struggling.
I go in and stop share and see if I can start back to share with the PowerPoint presentation itself now.
Not a problem. Try it and see.
Yeah. I mean, if I used to use the laptop to game and watch movies and videos and things, I don't understand why giving trouble, but I don't even use the laptop to do nothing like that.
So it's not releasing the presentation as well.
No.
Oh, shake your mouse there and see if that PC can crash. Are you seeing your mouse moving?
He can't share from his phone.
No, the laptop is a bit what's the word I want to use? It's under stress, and he doesn't have that type of phone to be able to share with.
Oh, okay. I mean, two phone.
It's more just a basic phone.
So it be one of them.
All right, well, let's hold on. We'll wait for him. I'm on the phone with him right now, so I'm trying to talk him through about rebooting and setup. All right, hold a second.
Okay.
Ms. Lalchan, welcome.
I counted Mahadev present for
He tried, but he was able to do your piece, and then his PC started to give trouble. Is there any way you can assist? Are you home now that you can actually
yeah.
pick up the presentation? All right, so he's waiting for his PC to boot back up so he can come back into the class. Because what happened with his PC, it crashed at the end of the presentation, and he was trying to turn off your piece and start his piece. So if you could take charge, put up the thing, he's going to be coming back into the class as soon as his PC boots up and he's able to open Teams and come back into the classroom. And you could run the PowerPoint for him for the PC still has to do.
Okay,
All right. So if you want, you could go ahead and start take control and take control of the presentation. And when he gets in, he'll be able to jump in. All right.
okay, yeah.
All right, cool. Anuradha? right, Anuradha, do you want to go ahead and try and take control and put up the PowerPoint? He's just about to start mission. So when you get on, you could organize that. He is trying to, his PC is now finished booting up and he's going to try to get into the class again. Hey, Deidre is here. Hi, Deidre. Welcome.
Hi, good evening, sir.
We're kind of in the middle of a presentation. The recording is still going on. We've had some technical issues with the presenter, so it's still recording. So, all right. So we still have to wait for the presenter to get back in. So we're seeing your screen, Anuradha. If you go to all right, yeah, from here. So you could have it set up to start from current slide. If you click on that, you'll get your slideshow to run from current slide. Now, if push come to shove, do you think you could present his stuff for you for us? I know it sounds a little unfair.
So he don't do her piece, so she should do his piece.
I know, it's just
Uh,
it's just that his PC is taking so long to do anything. Right now, he's trying to reopen Teams.
oh, okay.
You know that, and that's supposedly a new PC. But so far, I mean, the information that's being presented is quite good. It's on target. So it's just to try and get it completed. Shouldn't take too much longer from what I remember.
Okay.
Yeah, just a few things, and then we could start looking at discussing the issues with the debate, because we have to get that settled tonight and start working on it for next week. All right, Mahadev, I don't know how long this will last, so you better pick up one time. You have to unmute, we're not hearing you.
You all hear me now?
Yes, hearing you now.
Okay, nice. So let's see how fast I can do this before it died again.
All right.
So now I'm going to talk about mission. So firstly, what is mission? The term mission is one which should not be misunderstood for that as being similar to that of vision. Okay? Mission is a terminology that is actually referred to as the core and broad purpose and reason for existence. Mission basically is what defines the core values and reason for being, all whilst providing the basis for creating the previously explained vision. Right? It should be noted that mission is comprised of two key parts. These two key parts are the core values and the core purpose. So simply put, mission is basically what the organization or company stands for. Next slide. You can move to the next slide, please.
Anurada? You need to get to the next slide. All right, if you're talking to us, we can't hear you because your microphone's muted. Anurada?
I'm trying to contact on this end to the change the slide. Okay, nice. So now we're moving on to what mission does. So whilst the vision is that what continues to ever grow and change, the mission is something that persists while in the face of ever-changing technologies, economic conditions, or any other environmental shifts. So it is something that remains constant whilst in the midst of all these scenarios here. So basically, mission is what remains, and it is what serves as the glue which holds together the organization in the face of the changing times, all whilst helping to also guide the strategic choices and decisions about the future of the said company. So basically, the mission defines the DNA of the organization, and it is used to help employees find the meaning in their work. Next slide, please. So now, framework for noble purpose. So it should be noted that an effective mission statement is one that not only describes the product or service, but it also captures an individual's ideal motivations as to why exactly the organization itself exists. So the framework for noble purposes, they have four main purposes that I am going to be talking about, and they are discovery, excellence, altruism, and heroism. Next slide, please. Right, so the first framework for noble purpose is that of discovery. So that discovery now, this serves as a noble purpose as it does for the employees, whilst the research are given time that is used to explore ideas as well as work on their own project or task. So basically, this is what it does. This is something that the employees are given. This is something that the employees are given, which is time, and it is used to explore ideas as well as work on their own project or task. The second framework is that of excellence. Excellence serves as a work itself that is performed within the organization as compared to the customers that actually visit the organization. The third framework is that of altruism. Altruism deals with the concept of ensuring that the workers within the organization are treated with the utmost respect, all whilst ensuring that their customers get quality service. So, you know, have some organizations that basically they treat the workers with respect, but the workers don't reflect that respect onto the customers that visit the establishment. Altruism tries to ensure that what the respect that the employers give to the employees relay respect back onto back to the customers. And finally, we have heroism, which deals with the concept of being strong, aggressive, and effective. Next slide, please. So now we have strategy and action. So the phrase strategy and action deals with the concept itself of strategy. And strategy is that what is referred to as the general plan of action, which describes the resources that are allocated along with other activities for dealing with the environment, all while helping the organization reach its main goal. So basically, strategy deals with ensuring that the resources which are allocated along with other activities for dealing with the environment are justified, all while helping the organization itself reach its main goal or main purpose. Next slide. Deciding where to go and how to get there. So this table here that you are seeing, this is actually adapted from the Amir Hartman and John Siphonis. So it shows the ease of implementation and the strategic impact. So a high impact, which is hard to implement, it deals with major changes but with potential for high payoff. Whereas a high impact that is easy to implement deals with simple changes that have high strategic impact, and mostly they take that action first. And now we have a low impact that is hard to implement. It is difficult changes that have little to no potential for payoff, and most organizations try to avoid this category as best as possible. And finally, we have the low impact that is easy to implement. Basically, it deals with the small wins for the organization, but they don't normally focus on that. They try to implement high impact that is easy to implement. Next slide. Right, so now we'll be talking about leaders' contribution. So when we speak about leaders, we often associate the term leadership with leaders. So what exactly is leadership? Good leadership is something that entails the input of everyone within the structure of the organization. So basically, a good leader will exhibit good leadership. So a good leader is one who actually listens to everybody's opinions within the organization. They don't just listen to a few or maybe one or two persons. They listen to every single person within the organization, within that category that they're in charge of. They actually listen to everybody's opinions. And it should be noted that leaders are also responsible for ensuring that the vision and strategy of the organization is established. Next slide, please. So now this table shows the similarities between vision and action. So persons with a high vision and a high action are basically an effective leader. Persons, however, with a high vision and a low action is basically a dreamer. Now, persons with a low vision and a low action are persons who are uninvolved. They don't really, basically, they don't care as to what's going on. They're just showing up because they have to show up. They don't really put much effort into it. And persons with a low vision but high action is termed as a doer. Basically, they're just doing what they have to do. They don't really have a vision as to what exactly they want to achieve. They're just doing what they are told to do. So that is some of the similarities between vision and action. Next slide, please. So how exactly do leaders decide? So what helps leaders decide is one of looking inwards, outwards, and forwards in order to determine a strategic direction in which the organization should ideally be moving towards the future. So basically, a leader looks for the best way possible to ensure that the organization moves towards a strategic direction. Leaders have the ability to scan both the internal organizational and the external organizational environment in order to locate and identify any new trends, threats, and opportunities which can affect the organization in either a positive or negative way. So basically, leaders have the ability to ensure that they detect any trends, which is like any new ways or new stuff that people gravitate towards, which could either be in a positive or negative way. They also look for threats, which is a key aspect because once they are able to detect the threats, they can work around it to ensure that it doesn't affect the organization. And they also seek to look for opportunities to better the organization or to better the employees and the quality of service that are distributed by the organization. Next slide, please. The impact of a leader. So what makes a great impact by a leader is when they are able to link both the vision and strategy aspects. When a leader is able to do this, then they become an impactful leader and thereby make quite a substantial and positive difference for the organization. So basically, once you are a leader who can link the vision of the organization and the strategy aspects, then you are basically a very impactful leader. If you can't link them, then you're not an impactful leader. You're not one to really help make the organization better. Next slide. So to conclude now, we can interpret that both vision and strategy are used by leaders to set the direction of the organizations. They are in charge of analyzing the environment of the company, thinking about the potential changes, and establishing a course that everyone can support. The shared vision is a reasonable but yet appealing ideal feature for the business. However, it is not easily accessible. So with that brings us to the end of our presentation. I do like to apologize for the break within the presentation that kind of break the momentum. I really thought that's how I was able to rectify the problem, but I couldn't. But nevertheless, thank you all for your attention, and I hope you all enjoyed it.
Your persistence is the key. You all did very well. Good job.
Thank you.
All right, if there are no questions, I'll pause the recording.